Welcome everybody to episode 8 of Controllers and Coffee, your weekly dose of gaming goodness. This week I'm once again joined by Kat Gerritsen. How are you, Kat?
Amazing, how are you?
I'm good. Welcome back to the show. We missed you last week. It was a very long episode, but we wish you were there. This week's episode will be debating the latest news that Sony has announced a PlayStation exclusive partnership with Crystal Dynamics for Spiderman in the Avengers game. There's also a state of play coming up tomorrow at time of recording. But first, let's get stuck into some games. We've been playing a couple of games. Let's kick it off, if it's okay with you, Kat, with Grounded, because I know you've spent a bit of time with this.
I love it. Oh my god.
So
love Grounded.
Tell me your experiences with it.
Look, it's a bit buggy. I can't deny that, but I love it. I don't normally play this sort of game. Like, the closest that I play is Minecraft. So, you know.
Me too, actually.
Not normally my jam, but man, I am having a world of fun. Like, I just love the design of everything. Cutting down trees in a forest, boring. Cutting down giant blades of grass, amazing.
I'm all about. I feel the exact same way.
Stacking grass on my shoulder and hucking it at things, delightful. Finding dewdrops on the grass and stuff. Everything is so good. And like, I am so excited for updates. I've been playing by myself with my brother, and then also in groups of 4, and the game just gets exponentially more fun the more people you chuck in there.
Sick.
So one of the things that we were talking about is we were hoping that they would potentially one day open the amount of people a bit bigger, maybe get 8 people in there so you can have a bit more fun.
Yeah, that'd be sick, like Minecraft, where you can just have loads of people in a server.
Yes,
so
I'm
good.
so excited. Yeah. I think the main thing that I've come across that is the biggest hassle is the building bugs and the chest bugs. So like, if you're building a house and you try to destroy one wall and it absolutely flattens your entire fort, like it'll just delete so much stuff around it.
Okay, I haven't got that far, so
it's terrible. And then the chest one, where sometimes when you're just putting stuff in, it'll eat it and it'll disappear. And then you try to put something else in, and it'll do the same thing until you put something in there that doesn't, that stops it from eating it. And it's so annoying to accidentally lose your resource because you're like, oh, this is all going in fine, and then suddenly that's gone. And it's like, I just got that. Why?
Wonder if that's why, like, you can't put stacks of things in a chest yet, because they know there's a bug where it just eats everything.
Yeah, so we've just made heaps and heaps of chests and just put little amounts in everything. Try not to overflow it, because you can overfill your chest too sometimes. Like, if your chest is completely full, you can accidentally put more stuff in there, and that gets eaten as well. So there's a few things, but man, I love it. What a joy. What do you reckon? Yeah,
I love it too. Speaking of bugs, I haven't had many bugs in gameplay, but I had a serious bug when I first tried to load the game. So
I wasn't sure if you were talking about issues or creatures.
That too, yes. We'll get to the creatures. Oh my god. So, yes, when I first downloaded the game on, like, one of my Xboxes, which is on the big TV, I launched it, and it comes up with a thing. It's like, thanks for joining the Grounded community. Press A to continue, essentially, and you just hit A, and it does nothing, but it scrolls through, like, new game, single player, and then you can just keep tapping A, and it's just single player. So I could not get a game, and I've uninstalled it twice now on that console and reinstalled it, and hard reset my console, did everything, and on that Xbox, I still can't play the game. On my other Xbox, it worked first time, so I'm not sure why it's happening on that specific Xbox.
Something's going on.
It's so weird. But once I got into the game, it was pretty stable. Like, I probably haven't built enough to experience the issue you're experiencing with the, like, disappearing house bug. But what I did have nothing really massive. But man, it is so fun. And the aesthetic is just awesome. Like, it is really enjoyable to be like, I don't know, like cruising around. When I first saw an ant and it didn't attack me, it kind of walked up to me and looked at me, and I was like, oh my god, I love this. Then I was like, I'm going to kill ants because I need their parts.
I need your biddies. Come here.
Even I don't know, just the like I found a cave, and there's like, you know, some raw science in there, and there was like another one of those, you know, science stations in there, and it's like, I don't know, it feels good to explore. I've set up my little base just near the like science
near the field station.
Yeah, field station. Thank you. And I've just been cruising around. I haven't played it since I played the other day, and I've just played it in single player for now. And I will, I really want to play multiplayer because it sounds so much fun. But I'm not even at the point of like, I haven't got my level 2 axe or anything like that because I haven't killed any ladybugs.
Not an easy goal to achieve, don't worry about that.
I read online, I was like, wait, how do I do this level 2 axe? And I was like, oh my Jesus. Then I tried to kill a ladybug and a bloody wolf spider came and killed me.
The spiders, they're terrifying.
They are fucked.
I was trying to dig up grubs to make like a canteen so that I could take water with me because I was having a real hard time finding dewdrops and I couldn't make the dew catcher yet. So I was trying to make a little canteen.
Yes.
And I went into this cave. I knew there were grubs there. Farmed 2 grubs. Left to look for some other ones and couldn't find any. So I was like, I'll go back to that cave. They've probably respawned. Mm-hmm. Didn't take a torch with me because I'm like, there's just grubs in here. It's no biggie, mate. Run on down and immediately get terrorized by one spindly leg coming out and red eyes. And a wolf spider had moved into my cave. I died. My soul left my body. Yelled out loud and died in that cave.
Oh my god.
It's terrifying.
I did
but
so
when you
much,
get multiple
screaming.
people, when you get multiple people though, you can. We upgraded to get like this ant mandible club, which is so good. And all 4 of us would just roll up on a spider, just like just bash it. Don't even try anything. Just keep hitting it. I hate them, but it's still like terrifying. The arachnophobia mode is cool as well. I'm not arachnophobic, so I just leave them on. But I like that that's a feature on the terrifying aspect there. They still
look terrifying.
They're huge spiders. But the arachnophobia is interesting because you can take off some of its legs, and then you can take off its pincers, and then its texture and its eyes until it's like the 2 hitboxes with just red eyes, which is
too
really
white.
Cool.
It still looks horrifying because it's just these weird white balls.
Also, when is it going to hit you? Like, it just kind of floats around. Like, you can't see them. Like, you're going to accidentally run into them and die. I thought it was going to turn them into, like, a different animal or something. I didn't think it was going to be weird like that.
Yeah, that's what I thought, too. I was like, it'll just turn it into, like, some cute creature. But no, it's still my nightmare fuel. But I left it on.
It's just fun.
I really love
I see spiders.
Yeah, I love... like you can see them in the distance. You can see like grass kind of falling over, and you're like, "Oh god, nah, fuck this."
Yeah, I'm like, "Oh, it's a spot." Oh, it's just a ladybug. No worries.
Yeah.
I foolishly built my base on you know where the big oak tree is, and there's fencing nearby it on the left side of it. And I was like, "Oh, this fencing is so good. It's up off the ground. I'm gonna jump up there and build my base." There are 3 orb spiders underneath me and 2 huntsmen, wolf spiders, that patrol the area at night. And I was like, this was terrible, but I've invested too much. Yeah. I must stay.
I thought,
who do you play as?
One of the girls. Not Hoops, the other one. I can't remember her name.
Oh, I play as Hoops.
Hoops.
Hello, Hoop!
I can't even remember what she's called. I don't know.
Max? I can't remember either.
No.
Because all I know is Hoops.
Yeah, I remembered Hoops, and I don't know why. It's just a weird name, but...
Allez, Hoop!
The story stuff, like, it's pretty minimal right now. But it's pretty cool how you go into the tree, and it's like, oh, wait, there's actually, like, a backstory going on here. And it's kind of...
Yeah, with Berg L.
Burgle. So good.
And have you listened to some of his logs? Have you found any?
No, just the one that you find when you get there.
Yeah, there's some scattered around.
Hmm.
Oh, that reminds me though. When I was playing with a group, we found a second base, like that one in the tree.
Right.
And we couldn't get in. We could get into one area, but we couldn't get through it because the doors were locked.
Mm-hmm.
But we were like walking around on top of it, looking on the inside of it, and there was this huge spider. It was bigger than any of the other ones we've ever seen.
Oh my God.
And it was like an orb weaver, but bigger, and it had a white head, and it had all these baby spiders with it.
Oh God.
No, thank you.
Yeah, I've killed a couple of little spiderling things, but I'll just run away from all the big ones. It's pretty cool that think of the potential for a game like that. Like there are so many insects and spiders and stuff in the world. Like they can go nuts with that.
Oh, like praying mantis would be so cool.
Oh my God.
That would be terrifying, but so good. We're talking about limited events or like once every 3 days they let the dog out into the yard sort of thing.
God.
Or like if there's a lawnmower event where they gotta mow the lawn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Birds for like the bird water thingy. What are they called? Bird bath.
Bird bath, yeah.
Or frogs in the water or something, like really big creatures.
Yes.
Like it'd be sick but terrifying.
Oh, it has so much potential. It's just like, you're right. I have no interest of playing Rust or The Forest or even Ark for that matter, even though that's got dinosaurs. But there's something about this. I'm like, I really like this. It's really chill, yet stressful as fuck when there's spiders around. So grubs. I haven't found any grubs. Are they what's crawling in the ground? Like, you know how you see... Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you got to get a shovel to dig them out, and then you can smack those bad boys. Cool. I think it's interesting. One of the things that I don't know if I've just not explored enough, but you know when you go to the oak tree, you can check your map, and you're in a section of the map that isn't drawn in. You know what I mean? Like there's no imagery to give you any idea of landmarks, but you can still play in that area. And I found other areas that are the same, and you can walk into them and you can play in them, but the map doesn't show up. And then halfway through looking in that area, because they're segmented up, there'll be a wall, like a fence line, with like workers' tape that says under construction. But you can still go through it.
I saw your video,
check
actually. Yeah. So is there anything past there, or is it just kind of...
Yeah, well, I mean, there's still stuff. There's like landmarks, like bugs can still go in there and all that sort of stuff. So you're still able to go in. I guess they're just working on, like it might change, or maybe there'll be story elements there, or who knows. They're just saying, it's not complete at this point. But I think it's interesting how much of the map you can get to before you find those fences, even though you can't like undo the fog of war on the map sort of thing, or I don't know how to undo it. Who knows? Not me.
It's crazy that like the map's not heaps big, but I found like I spent a lot of time in the same kind of area, and then I was like, oh, I'll go this way, and I was like, oh, what the hell? There's like berry bushes and like this whole other section that I was like, wait, I'm like still only 200 centimeters from my base camp when I died.
I know.
But yeah, it was a whole like section I hadn't even looked at. So that's cool.
I feel the same thing. It took me like hours before I found that there was dead grass like about 20 centimeters from my house. And like I could go and get heaps of like an unlimited supply of dry grass, and it was right there. I also love that everything is measured in centimeters.
Yes, I know. It's such a cool touch.
Only 40 centimeters away. That's no biggie. I love it. So good.
I wanted to say something. No, I think I lost it. It's very cool. I'm excited to see where it goes, and You know, it seems to be doing well on Steam, but also obviously it's on Game Pass and loads of people are playing it.
Yeah.
It's 13 people making it, which is amazing. It's funny that Obsidian really, like, I think they're just taking the piss out of Bethesda at this point. They released the Outer Worlds and it's a better Fallout than Fallout. They released this with 13 people and it's like pretty much a better Fallout 76.
I haven't played it, but I know that it is.
Yeah, and then like they're working on this big Skyrim-esque RPG. It's like, fucking hell, Obsidian, like,
no, you're right.
Calm down.
Totally slaying it. Like,
we only need 13 people to make a better game than Fallout 76. And like, you know, it's content light at the moment, but there's so much to build and so much to do. Oh, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Like, when I was like, all right, I'm going to start making a wall. I just cut, and like, I was like, you know, working out where I wanted it to be. I cut down so much grass, and I was like, all right, I'll make some pallets. And I just have like stacks of grass everywhere. Like, it's so good. It looks so good.
James would not stop cutting grass when we were playing. He just kept. He would not stop. We're like, we don't need any more, dude. We finished our construction. You can chill. And he's just carrying him up, just over and over, and hucking him up there. Nuts, Jesus.
Oh, so
but
good.
the first update comes out on the 27th, I believe. Which is nice and close, and I'm so keen.
Yeah. If they add, you know, something every month, even if it's small like that, I think it'll keep a lot of people playing. You know, Ark took years to get to, you know, a full release, and that's like a reasonably big team, and that is pretty, like, there's a lot of progression in that game. You go from being like a caveman killing dodos on the beach to like riding dinosaurs and shit. So, you know, and having full on weaponry and stuff. But I
do want to ride a ladybug.
Yeah, is that possible yet? To make a saddle?
Not that I've found.
No.
If it is, that's amazing, but I have not seen that.
Yeah, I just saw something on Twitter about that, but I wasn't sure if it was actually a thing. But yes, very cool game.
Everyone's
very, very cool. I hope in the full release you get to create your own character though, even though you don't really see your character. But
I know that people have. There's a bug where you can get a fifth character, so I'm not sure if there'll be character creation or just a large, I guess, a choice of characters.
Not that it even matters in a game like that, but
yeah, I thought it was weird because when you die, they're like change teen, and I'm like, do they have hidden stats or are they going to implement stats to do that? But the fifth character is called Bones, and as far as I know, the way to get him is to like. I don't know. I don't think it's intentional, but you're supposed to like starve yourself, get yourself down to 1 HP, and then do all this other stuff and die and come back and save your game, sort of thing. And then you get a skeleton character called Bones. So that's cool. And you probably, I guess, because you go down to 1 HP. And you have to like save and restart and stuff to get this character. It feels like maybe they're unlockable by completing certain tasks, because it does seem like starving yourself would unlock a skeleton character. Like it kind of makes sense, right? Like it kind of makes sense. Yeah, but maybe hopefully there will be a large roster.
Yeah, cool. Weird characters like that would be cool as well.
Yeah.
I like the
caterpillars.
I like the armor and shit you can make. Like I made an ant helmet and ant.
I love the ant helmet.
It's like samurai.
And if
helmet.
You put the whole set on, apparently if you put the whole set on, which I haven't done, the ants, because there's some big ants that attack you. Apparently they don't attack you anymore. They just think you're ant. You are ant.
I am ant.
You're buddy.
And then you're like,
I love the acorn armor.
Yeah.
Ladybug armor. I love it.
Sick. That's so good. Yeah, it has a lot of potential. Excited to see where it goes. Speaking of games with lots of potential, Fall Guys is next, a new title from Mediatonic and Devolver Digital. It is free on PlayStation Plus at the moment if you are subscribed to the service. And it is a little 60-player, pretty much a battle royale. You're a jelly bean
fun
or a
battle royale,
and it is super fun. You've only played one game, yes? Yes.
One game right before we started recording. It took so long to download, which I think may just be, either my shit Australian internet or a testament to how many people are downloading it right now.
Yeah. It is really fun. It's got a lot of cool game modes. I think I probably played an hour or two today. It's just hilarious and
you
enjoyable.
won.
I won one match. What would you call it? A match? A
round game.
Game.
Because it's a game show, right?
Yeah.
So you won.
It is. I won a show.
You won one show.
Yeah. It was super satisfying. The last round that I won, I think it was just a race or something like that. But there's a cool one where it's like you run on these like hexagons and they drop out from underneath you in the final round, and the last person to be standing wins, and it's just the most hectic thing because everyone's just like running at full speed, and I love that you can jump and dive. So like if you need to try and clear something, you just dive, but then you fall over, and it's hilarious. Such a good game.
That was there was a game mode in MapleStory 2 that was very similar to that, where like the floor falls out. All the other game modes I was okay with, but I never survived that one. I could never make it. So I dread finding that course now. I will never succeed.
Yeah, I did not win that one. Tash played one show and got up to the final, and she second last to fall in. And I was like, so close when you first go. It is very, very cool. I love the stupid outfits and do
you have any?
It seems I've got it's like a peacock. No, not a peacock. Like a pigeon or something. It's like a little bird tail and feet. And
we had those when we played PAX last year.
Yeah. And did you get the wolf head thing as well? Yeah.
Yeah, wolf. And then when I changed my outfit, I got an achievement for being a special snowflake.
Yes, I got that as well. So good. It's got a great sense of humor. It's just fun, and it loads quickly, and even if you lose, it's like cool, right back into the action. And the races are just super hectic at times. I did this one where you're running up like a slope, and it's like a conveyor belt, and there's like fruit just being shot at you, and like massive bananas and pretty much bananas and apples and oranges, and like the apples and oranges even have stickers on them, which I thought was a really cool little touch.
I like that.
Yeah, cool. I think they said there's like 25 game modes. I definitely haven't seen them all yet though, but it seems
I've
like
seen
like
6. So
yes, did well for your
the one match that I played.
First show.
Yeah, I was like, wow, I was really hoping, once I made it through the first couple of rounds, I was like, what if I win on my first try?
So close.
It wasn't to be.
Yeah. The first time I played the soccer one, we just got like smashed, and then the second time I played it, we won like 10-2, and I was like, hell yeah, redemption.
They're so hard that I find the big ball ones. I'm like, what am I doing? Just smashing my head into it.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm not helping, sorry.
Just diving at it. There's another really cool one where you push a ball down a hill with your whole team, and like each team is separated from each other. So you can't interfere till right at the end. And like you all have to work together to push this giant ball down an obstacle course. It's very cool.
Nice. I'm excited to see more.
Yeah, same. Yes, we will report back for sure. Another Devolver Digital game that I have played and finished this week is Carrion. I don't know if you've played this yet.
I haven't played it, but I've seen a bit of it. I was gonna download it, but time just escaped me.
Yes, it's a cool little game. Didn't grab me at first. I was like, oh yeah, this is cool. This is a cool kind of concept, but I don't know if I'm sold on it. And then I kept playing. I was like, yeah, actually, this is really fun. And it gets like, it's very much puzzle based. Like you're playing as this big thing, big
Big boy.
what do they call it? Cyclopean monster. It's straight out of like
some amalgamation.
Yeah, it's straight out of what's his name? Bloody Eldritch horror man. Lovecraft.
Yep. Lovecraft.
Crazy Lovecraftian horror. It's very cool. I thought the ending is really clever. And you do like these flashback sequences and stuff, and as you go through the game, you start off relatively small, and then you unlock like more DNA. What's the word? I don't know. Like the way it changes like your abilities and stuff, but they're like DNA things that you get from like radioactive tanks that you slither inside, and then you get bigger and you can do more things. And like when you're small, you can be stealthy and go invisible, but when you're medium sized, you can like rip open doors and stuff, or like rip through wooden planks and stuff like that. And then pretty late in the game, you get like giant sized, and you're so massive that like traversal is almost like so much different, because you're just trailing this massive tentacles and mouths behind you for ages, and it's so fucking gross. And you can like get this ability where you can resist like massive damage and everything, and have these like spikes that come out of you, and it's brutal. Very cool. Like the sense of progression is pretty good. It reminds me a lot visually, like I suppose there's a lot of blood in that as well, but of Katana Zero. Has that real like really nice 16-bit aesthetic, and there's just blood everywhere, and the controls are phenomenal. The way the Carrion moves about, because you're not limited to like jumping or anything like that. Like you can move directly up and just like latch onto things and pull yourself through everything, and it just controls super smoothly, which I really appreciated. And once you get the hang of like pointing, because you can like point your cursor when you're playing on controller with the right stick, and you like push buttons or pull levers and stuff with that, and then like move yourself around with the left stick, and it just feels really cool. Sometimes you walk in a room and there's like 6 or 8 enemies, and you're just like ripping them all into you, eating their heads, and like just blood going everywhere. It's absolute pandemonium. Very fun.
I think I'll have to download it.
Yeah. Is it on Game Pass for PC as well as console? Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely.
Very much worth it. It's cool that Fall Guys is on PlayStation and PC from Devolver, and then this is on Xbox and PC from Devolver as well. So it's like they got their hands in a little bit of everything. Very, very cool. I wanted to talk quickly about the Fairy Tail game. So Fairy Tail is like my favorite anime, and my partner's favorite anime. She's playing it right now. The new game that came out, it's published by Koei Tecmo, the people who did, I don't know, they do lots of Japanese games. I don't know who actually made the game. Let me know your opinion on this. So it's a pretty cool game in a way, because it's got all the characters, and I think it's voiced by all their Japanese voice actors, and it's got all the moves and everything.
Hello.
It just really gives me the shits, because it's just a shot. It's a shot for shot, almost like retelling of half of the anime, and to me, it's just lazy game design. Like it has so much potential, and it's a turn-based RPG, like JRPG, and it just feels like it's copy-paste of so many other games, and it really made me mad yesterday. I was like, why? Like, they could do so much with this premise. They could make up a story, and you could have like an action game where you're actually fighting, kind of like Dragon Ball Z games where you're actually fighting, but then you can charge up special moves, because they like all the characters have amazing like abilities and stuff. It really made me mad. I don't know if it's just an anime thing, but have you ever experienced that with anime games? Because I know there's, or just like JRPGs in general really give me the shits. it's probably gonna rub a lot of people the wrong way, but
yeah, it's a genre thing maybe. I don't know. I've never played one that followed the storyline so much, really. Like a lot of the JRPGs I play don't have necessarily other media that I have consumed beforehand.
Yeah, true.
Or have other media at all. So it's very different. And I guess I can understand in a way, like playing an anime that I know does sound amazing, but at the same time, what am I getting from that apart from retelling the same story but having to press buttons and it's longer this time?
Yeah. I actually think it's shorter because fucking Fairy Tail's so long.
Oops. So it's potentially cutting on story, or I don't know, who knows. But I think there's probably a good balance where you could get that to work, where if you followed the story but you also had extra stuff to pop in there, then that would be sick. But I get where you're coming from in terms of the gameplay itself. Because if you've got characters that can fight amazingly and do all this crazy stuff, and then you turn it into a turn-based, a lot of that magic can get just lost. And like, I love turn-based games, but I love non-turn-based games too.
Yeah,
so
yeah, I can see it being a game, and like this is a harsh comparison because Square Enix are a huge company, but I can see it being more like Final Fantasy VII Remake in its combat. Like, it doesn't even need to visually look that much different. It looks cool. It's just 3D anime. But like, I love the combat in Final Fantasy VII because it's like action, and you're like, you're punching and fighting and using your sword or whatever when you're Cloud, and like each character is completely different. But then once you build up your meter, you can do special attacks, and you like build up your limit break and all that. And that kind of like turn-based
build up at all, or
sorry,
do they have any build up in Fairy Tail or no?
Yeah, they have like a it's like a chain attack. So like as you build up, you can use it like as a special attack, but it's just like you time your button presses right, and like they all attack after one another, and it's cool. And they have really cool things like in the show, certain characters use their magic together to like,
so kind of like in Xenoblade too. Like...
Yeah, right. Yeah, and I don't know, it's so much potential for combat. Like one of the characters in Fairy Tail, her outfit, like she's got the magic that changes like her armor, and what she's wearing affects like what she can do. And it would be so sick to be playing this as an action game where you can like, switch her armor mid-battle and then have all the abilities for that. And I know that's a lot more like game design. Switching. Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. But like to a massive, level. But in this, it's like you can do those attacks and her outfit changes when you do those attacks. But it's not like, you're not like, I'm going to change into this armor to be able to defeat someone who's weak with like
there's
with
not
swords.
The thought process.
Yeah, and it really irks me because it has so much potential for a video game. And it seems like it's just, I don't know, so many JRPGs are like...
It suffers from like movie video game sort of syndrome.
Almost, yeah. And it's not a bad game either. Like, it's got all the abilities and moves, but it's just, I don't know, the execution is,
underwhelming.
So much potential. And it's one of those games that probably not many people will buy. It's only in Japanese, which I know, anime fans probably don't care about. But they haven't, got the option to hear the English voice actors. It's like, oh man, this could be like my favorite game, but it's not. And that makes me sad.
Try harder, soz.
I'm sure it's like AA budget. Like, it's not a AAA studio or anything. So I'll give them that. But yeah, upsetting nonetheless. That's my rant over. Sorry, everyone out there who likes
loves Fairy Tail, loves this Fairy Tail game.
Yeah, well, that and just JRPGs in general, but also Fairy Tail is so awesome. So it's at least that nostalgia of like, oh, I remember when this happened in the show. Like all the Dragon Ball Z games that come out are just the retelling of the entire show, which is fine. I don't know. Maybe that's why I'm.
I guess it depends on what you're expecting when you go in as well.
All right, but enough about me bitching. Let's talk about some news. So, this is going to be
about something else.
Yeah, Spiderman. Spiderman. So, Crystal Dynamics announced yesterday, I believe, a partnership with PlayStation, Sony, to bring Spider-Man to the new upcoming Marvel's Avengers game. He's going to be a post-launch character, and the internet's on fire about it. My personal take is like, I don't really care. Maybe that's because I'm not that interested in that game, especially long term.
Yeah.
But also, like, I like Spider-Man. He's a fine character, but like, I'm not like, oh, that's my favorite character. Yeah, where do you stand on this? Give me your thoughts.
I also don't care, but that's because I'm not invested in this game at all.
Yeah.
I don't care about it in the slightest, but I can totally see it because Spider-Man is a really, like, it's a fan favorite character. Yeah. So many people, like, growing up when I was a kid, I had Spider-Man coloring in books. Like, I was all about Spider-Man, dude.
Yeah.
So if I had kept that mindset, I would be devastated if I couldn't play as Spider-Man when I bought the game, because he is a part of the Avengers, and you should be able to get this, a whole total game. And it's not a timed exclusive, is it? It's just exclusive.
Because Sony, I think, owns the IP rights to Spider-Man.
Yeah. So I I don't know if they own...
I don't know. I'm reading conflicting things online.
I guess they own the total IP. Yeah, because they own the movie IP, and I suppose they do own the game IP to have the Sony Spider-Man games.
Exactly.
And I get why they're doing it from a business perspective, obviously, because they want more people to buy PlayStation and to get Spider-Man. But it does suck for everyone else. And also, it's a multiplayer game. Will there be cross?
This is what I wanted to bring up. Yeah. I think.
Will people be able to play with Spider-Man on the other team, or you're just not going to be able to be friends with those people? Like,
this is exactly what I was thinking. Like, I'm in the same boat. Like, I don't really care. It just doesn't matter to me. But I understand why people do care. But yes, the crossplay thing, it's like, does this mean there's not going to be crossplay with PlayStation?
Yeah.
I imagine that's the case. Like, because otherwise the code for Spider-Man is in the versions of the game for PC and Xbox, because they'd have to display it on screen. You know what I mean? Like, that, I think that is like the bigger issue here, is like, well, we won't be seeing crossplay for this then, which sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I think crossplay should be something that's rolling out over pretty much everything coming out. Like, I don't see why anyone would not want crossplay in their games. It's a detriment more than anything else.
Totally.
Why not want your people, like your players, to play together regardless of the platform? Obviously, there's considerations for smaller studios and getting that to work, but in a bigger studio, get fucked, man. Like, share your character around. You don't need that money for Spider-Man in a game with all these other heroes. I saw a lot of people being like, I hope Xbox gets an alternate, hero that PlayStation won't get. But I doubt that's going to happen. And also, you'd need to match the level of Spider-Man, who is so popular. So, like, give Deadpool to them? Like, what are you going to do?
Wolverine or something like that, but Wolverine's not in the Avengers. Like, and I completely agree. Yeah. Like, I don't see that happening at all. I think Sony have just probably offered a lot of money to do this. Square Enix probably have offered Sony, a lot of money to use the IP and like have it exclusive on their platform. And it sucks. Like, to be honest, like, a multi-platform game that's multiplayer and cooperative as well. It's not like it's competitive either. It's like to like put a character behind not just a paywall, because they've said all the DLC is going to be free, but like a console paywall. Like that is, I don't know. It's just, it kind of shits me. And I understand on the business side of things, and then, like, personally, I just don't care. But it's a bit of a dick move. Sony could have still like sold the IP right, like, you know.
Yeah, they could have got a big lump sum to have it on every platform. Like, who gives a shit? Some people that would have wanted to buy this game would have been anticipating a Spider-Man DLC release so that they could play Spider-Man, and they may not own a PlayStation, and now they just pooped. Like, that sucks. I'm not a fan. I'm a huge not a fan. You know what I would be fine with is if there was like PlayStation exclusive skins for Spider-Man, like the ones from the game sort of thing.
For sure.
That would be fun. I mean, it would suck for the completionists or the people that wanted that skin if they were on a different platform, but it wouldn't literally change the game and change the way you can play your game.
Even timed exclusivity, like, would be a better option, because it's like PlayStation players will get Spider-Man first for 3 months or whatever.
Yeah, until the DLC is fully released or something.
Yeah.
And he comes in the story. That would be sick. That would be, well, not sick, but it would be better.
Yeah. But I think one of my biggest problems with this game is, like, from day one, they've talked about post-launch content. They've talked about,
a roadmap. Everything will be
roadmap,
free,
like
whatever.
microtransactions. Like they've said, like everything will be free moving forward. It's like, just release the game first and make it a good game. Don't talk about like what microtransactions you're going to have and what content you're going to bring in 6 months' time, when the game has been delayed anyway to September. And no one's people have played it, but no one's got the game yet. So it's like, stop talking about what's happening in the future and just actually release a decent game, because I'm still not sold. This game should be awesome, and I think it looks better each time we see it. But I'm still just like, I don't care.
Yeah, same. And I'm a huge Avengers fan, like huge Marvel bean over here. I waste my money on that shit, but I am so not interested in this, just because for me the gameplay does not look interesting.
No,
which is completely personal opinion, nothing on the game, but it's still a shit situation for anyone who is excited that you can't play as one of the most well-recognized heroes. Like, boo, boo,
boo,
huge boo.
Yeah, I think it's kind of shitty, but also like, I don't give a fuck, because I'm probably not even gonna play it. Like, and
if I play it, I won't miss Spider-Man probably, unless there's crossplay and I get to see someone else doing some sick Spider-Man shit.
And yeah, I think the crossplay, lack of potential for crossplay with that is shitty. Like,
I agree.
Like, I understand for a indie dev like Mediatonic, who made Fall Guys, to not have crossplay. Fair enough. But Square Enix, for fuck's sake, come on. Like, you're one of the biggest publishers in the world. Crystal Dynamics are a huge studio. Not only that, it's not only Crystal Dynamics, it's like Crystal Dynamics, Eidos Montreal, and Crystal North or something like that, like a second studio of Crystal Dynamics. They're all working on this game. If this turns out, and I don't think it'll be this much of a dumpster fire, but if this turns out like Fallout 76 was like, Fallout 76 was like all the Bethesda game studios working together. It was like 1,200 people working on this game.
Terrible.
And it's like, how did 1,200 people make this fucking god awful excuse for a Fallout game? I hope it's not the case with the Avengers, because I want I want it to be good, because maybe in 3 years' time, once like all the content roadmap is done, I'll be like, cool, now there's a full game here. But
now I can play something. Let's pop in before the servers get shut down.
Yeah, on the fucking Xbox, I don't know, Series X2 or something like that. PS6 release.
X squared.
X squared. Fuck, they should have called it that. Call Phil Spencer.
Phil, please. I've got the big ideas.
X squared. Oh shit. Yeah, so that's the Avengers. We'll see. It'll probably still sell like crazy. I mean, Sony sold like 112 million PlayStation 4s, so you know, I'm sure it's going to do well. But I don't know.
Yeah.
Just kind of shits me. I also haven't played
Not
the
sold.
Spider-Man PlayStation game because I just don't care that much about Spider-Man.
It's good.
I imagine it's good. It looks great. I just don't know if I care.
Swinging is amazing fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, to be very honest, I liked exploring the city and doing random shit a lot more than the storyline. So
I've heard that from a few people.
I enjoy being Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Not the Spider-Man game.
Yeah.
I want to be Spider-Man.
Take that however you like it. You just see Cat running up walls. Falling off buildings. Okay. Still talking about PlayStation. There is a State of Play coming tomorrow, or Thursday, August the 6th in the US, so probably Friday morning at some ungodly hour for Australians.
Yay.
It's a funny world we live in when they announce it on Twitter or, you know, social media. And they even have to say, like, there will be no PlayStation 5 news. It's like, keep your expectations in check, everybody, because, my God, I
want to know. Do you reckon if E3 was on this year and Sony was there with Microsoft that we would know the price and the release date at this point?
Oh, that's a great question. I reckon at least Xbox.
Yeah,
like,
I think we'd know the price. Maybe not the release date, but the price.
Yeah, like if there was no
they'd want to be
COVID,
competing on that stage.
Oh fuck yeah, yeah, totally. And like Xbox always goes first at E3 as well, so to be like, it's the now.
They'd be like, shit, add a slide. What the price is?
Yeah, I think like if COVID hadn't happened and there was E3 and there weren't like shortages of, you know, like manufacturing and all this kind of stuff, like I think you're right. Like I reckon we totally would know a price, and they'd probably have a concrete release date, if not at E3 but short after, because like there's probably thousands of people freaking out about building these consoles in time because of the coronavirus. So it's like, yeah, that's probably still up in the air, the release date, but I'm sure they'd have to know by now. It's like 4 months away.
Yeah.
Apparently,
at least
sorry,
a month. Please let me know.
I know.
Let me know when I need to save.
Like fuck, game companies love pre-orders. Why don't they even have pre-orders out? Like, just I don't know.
That's what I thought. Like, even just like register your interest, not necessarily that you're going to be able to pay for all of it, depending on what the price is. And like, I want to know day one models. Like, give me some juicy shit, and you're going to give me a fucking State of Play with no PS5 news. What are you going to give me? What news could I possibly show up for?
Well, they've said it's for PS4 and PSVR titles. There will be some PS5 games which are going to be a bit more of a dive into some of the indies we saw at the PlayStation event, but not the one that everyone wants to see, the Kenner game, that really cute one. Everyone in the comments on something was like, oh, Kenner, and the Kenner Twitter account was like, we'll be watching, but we won't be there, to like everybody. It's like, rip. So hopefully, hopefully Bug Snacks, show us more Bug Snacks. That shit broke the internet.
Oh, yes, Bug Snacks! I tried to hold it with my wiener hands. I love that. I forgot about that, man.
Oh shit!
No, you're right. I'm keen for some game news. You know what else I want to know? I want to know what bundles we're getting. Like, I want to know what games I'm gonna get with my fucking console bundle. Sackboy Adventures. Godfall.
Oh god.
And NBA.
That game looks so bad.
Those are coming in. That's my bundle.
I think it's got to be.
It's not the bundle I want, but it's the bundle I get.
Yeah, it's got to be Miles Morales bundles, right? Because, like, at the moment,
You're right. Maybe there'll be a Spiderman console.
Oh, maybe. I don't know, but there's also rumors. There's also rumors that you can take those side plates off, and maybe they're gonna it'd be cool if they sold custom side plates because it wouldn't be as expensive as buying a whole new console. That's for sure.
Yeah, and you could refresh your console every now and then. But it was the PlayStation 3, didn't it, that came out with the Spider-Man font?
Yes, yeah.
So it could be a Spider-Man console.
Imagine that. They just changed the PlayStation.
So he's hitting hard.
And everything. They're really riding that Spider-Man wave.
That's all we got.
What other? I'm guessing they're probably going to be third-party mainly, but what other PS4 games are even coming out? Other than I don't even know what is it's never coming out, Kat. All right.
You're right. It's not coming out. But
it's shovelware.
Do you reckon we'll be getting games that are PS4 games, but will also be on the PS5, or
maybe
mostly just? I don't know. I guess most games that are coming out near the release window can get ported over, but
apparently, every game that comes out on the PS4 from June till the PS5's launch, or from June onwards, have to be certified to play on the PS5. So I wonder if they're gonna do even up. Some games will even get an upgrade or just be play it backwards compatible. I don't know. They don't. Then it doesn't feel like they're doing a smart delivery-esque thing.
No.
Some game I saw the other day, there was an Xbox box and then a PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 box. So it's ooh, they're not doing it.
Yeah.
The Xbox
also,
One everything.
For smaller studios, you'd hate to release your game on and say that it was on PlayStation 5 and release it before it came out, because that will impact your sales, initially at least, and people will be okay, I'll wait till the PlayStation 5 comes out, and a percentage of those people, by the time the PlayStation 5 comes out, might not be interested in your game anymore. So,
for sure.
For smaller studios, it sucks.
And I think that's what people, forget about backwards compatibility, is, everyone goes on about, the big games, being backwards compatible. But, what about, all the thousands of indie games that are out on the PlayStation Store and out on the Xbox Store? Are they just going to get forgotten about if there's no backwards compatibility? Because that seems like a rough deal for those developers. Some indie games, it doesn't matter if, you play them in 10 years, they're still going to have the same aesthetic. It's not like they're going for photorealism like so many big AAA games.
Yeah, so it ages terribly.
Exactly. Dead Cells will never look bad. It's pixel art.
Katana Zero.
Yeah, Katana Zero. It will never look bad because that game could have literally come out on the SNES and looked incredible. There's a lot of particles and stuff that wouldn't have existed on the SNES, but it's still that pixel art. For if those games, Sony they changed their tone about backwards compatibility pretty regularly. But their first thing was the top 100 games will come to backwards compatibility first or whatever. It's but they're all huge games. What about the thousands of indie games that are out there that people have probably bought and they want to bring them across to the new console? Not everyone wants to have two consoles set up your two generations. It's a weird thing.
It's a weird thing to have your two generations. It's not a weird thing, but it's definitely not common. A lot of people, I imagine, will sell their PlayStation 4 to get a PlayStation 5. Not everybody is in a position where you can have that much expendable dosh.
Yeah, especially now that... What did I read today about PlayStation? 75% of the sales in the last quarter or something were digital. So it's I don't know if you got a all digital PlayStation 5 and all these games you bought weren't on disc, they were all bought digitally, you want to bring that library over. That was one of the problems with the PS3, is that just no, nothing's coming over to the new console. Like, see you later, collection of video games.
Yeah, like my PlayStation Plus library is huge. From all the games that I've got from PlayStation Plus, and if I can't take those over, then part of the reason you get PlayStation Plus to ongoing have all these free games from downloading it month after month after month is gone. Like,
yeah,
you what? I paid monthly to get those bitches forever, and I have to keep paying to play that shit.
To keep them, yeah.
So if I'm paying on my PlayStation 5 for it, let me fucking press the go button. Let me give it a little old spin every now and then.
Like, I know they want to have their, like, generational gap, but, like, that's fine for the new games that are made for PlayStation 5 to not work on PlayStation 4. But I think in this day and age, like, look at people's Steam library. Like, how many games are in your Steam library?
Let me have a look.
Because
it's not as large as it could be. Like, 406.
That's still a few games.
It's quite a few.
It's quite a few games. Like, you don't want them to bring out, like, here's Steam 2.0. You can't play any of your old games. And I know it's different. It's on PC, but, like,
I'd be like, I'm not downloading.
Yeah, exactly. I'm staying on Steam 1.0. But I think, like, Xbox have been working towards this backwards compatibility stuff for years. That's why they're at the point where they're like, everything except Kinect games, thank fuck, will be going to the Series X. That's awesome. You know, I think. Go wait. I think. Yeah,
it's definitely a huge downfall for Sony. Huge. They have exclusives, but you can't play them across multiple generations.
Yeah, that's the other thing, right? Like, they're all about their exclusives, which are fantastic.
I have no other choice.
Yeah. Keep your PlayStation 4, and in 10 years, it won't work, and you won't be able to play any games anymore.
And you're fucked.
Speaking of exclusives, I have not gotten back to Ghost of Tsushima. I know you've finished it. Oh, man. Oh, well, I've done a couple of missions, but I haven't played it, like, all week. And I'm like, itching to samurai out.
You get back in there and shank some bastards.
So good. But yes, bit of a ranty episode.
That's fine. Sometimes it be that way. Look, we started off on a high.
Yes, we did.
So...
And I hope there's some cool stuff. People are speculating that maybe Call of Duty will get announced there. Hooray! Great, a new Call of Duty. I'm so excited. Wahoo! But I hope there's like a cool game that's coming out in September that's like quite big. But why would they announce it now? Like, it's August. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't get it. I'm
confused by this.
It's so close. I want the price. I want the release date of the new consoles. I don't want, or I want new games that I can be excited about. New stuff for the new one. Just new stuff.
Just give me that.
So close.
Give me that Elden Ring trailer and leave me alone.
Yes. Well, I mean, I don't think that's coming out soon.
No, at this point, like, why would a big publisher release a big game if it wasn't for next gen as well, if not only for next gen?
Yeah, I hope that they're just hiding their intentions and trying to set low expectations by saying they're PlayStation 4 games, when really they're also PlayStation 5 games, but they're just like, set the bar down here and then deliver up here when everyone was initially expecting it to be up here.
And they're like, they said there was no PlayStation 5 games, but there are. Instead of being like, where the hell is, I don't know, where the hell is Dragon Age 4? Or like something that's completely not going to get announced. And you're just like, where was it?
I saw Dragon Age 4.
Yeah. Well, what did EA show? Like three screenshots of like a tree and a red lyrium. It's like, ooh, yep.
That's a good tree. That's some good bad lyrium. Yes.
That's some good bad lyrium. One day we will get all of our dreams. One day the Mass Effect trilogy will get remastered.
Maybe that can be announced.
If that came out on
bring something good.
Current gen, I'll just be like, I'm done.
PlayStation 4 only. It's not coming out on PlayStation 4.
Fucking I would fucking kill someone.
You'll be so excited until they're like exclusive to PlayStation 4.
Oh my god. No! No smart delivery either. No like PlayStation crossplay. Just like, nah, it's only on PlayStation 4. You can't play it on
it's
PS4.
relevant for a few months, sucker.
For fuck's sake. Oh, well, on that huge disappointment, I think we might end the show. Fuck, I'm going to go cry.
Get your tissues, boys. It's going to be a wet night.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, well, thank you, Kat, for joining me on another episode of Controllers and Coffee. Look at that. We just hit 1 hour. Look at that. And
we made it!
With a week when nothing really happened, we still managed to talk for 1 hour. So thank you so much. And where can people find you? What are you working on right now? Talk to us.
I'm doing hot art shit all the time. You can find me on Twitter at CapCatty or on my Instagram at capcat.works. I'm sure Elliot will put the links down there somewhere for you.
Always below. Awesome.
Always below.
And thank you everyone for watching or listening to this episode of Controllers and Coffee. If you are watching the video version and you want to listen to the audio version, search for Controllers and Coffee on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts. I don't know, it's on Castbox or something like that as well. Or you can head over to anchor.fm/directgaming. And if you're an audio listener, jump on to youtube.com/directgaming for the video version, and you can see our lovely faces.
Hell yeah.
Talking.
You can see a sliver of Fairy Tale in the background.
I don't think... No, that's only on your camera.
Fuck. You can't see that, Soz.
You broke the fourth wall.
I get to watch it while we talk, so...
Exactly. Yeah, and follow me over on Twitter at directgaming as well. Link below the video. We will see you next week. Thanks a lot, Kat. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Absolutely, dude. Bye.
Peace.